Hi, second grade teachers. I am here to describe our ELA framework for lesson design in grade 2, taking a look at some of the work that was done by the Essentializing Curriculum team over the summer to hopefully make your job much, much easier when we go back to school in September. So I'm going to walk you through our document for the first 4 weeks and give you a little bit of information on what you can expect. So on the first page, it just simply lists how much time we need for ELA. So we're going to allot about 50 minutes. That's going to have about 30 minutes in synchronous and 20 minutes in asynchronous. We're going to come back to the synchronous and asynchronous part a little bit later in the document and talk about some resources that we put together for you. We have for week 1, just doing your getting to know you activities, building that classroom rapport, and going over some technology that you will use in the classroom. On the second page, we have a sample suggested schedule. We wanted to try to make it as easy as possible for you when you're thinking about how you're going to schedule your week. You're going to see that when we go through the next page that we anchored most of our literature to Journey, since that's a common tool that we all have and have access to. So you can see that what we're going to do is we're going to break up the whole group and then the small group. And the whole group, we were thinking more on the synchronous suggestions. And in the small group, we were thinking asynchronous suggestions. And also during that time, you can pull students based on their needs for reading and writing. In the next page, you're going to see what our weekly outlook will look like for ELA. So what we did was we listed week number 1 as September 14th to the 18th. So on the first column, you're going to see the week number and the date. In the second column, you're going to see the topics and the essential learnings. Like I mentioned before, what we did was we took the journeys and tried to break it down into common core standards that were going to be applicable to our, not only to our eligible content, but also to our report card standards. And you can see underneath, we have the eligible content and the report card standard, and which will tie to the formative check that I'll describe in a minute. And then underneath that, we have our synchronous instruction focus. So using that story of the week, we have some ideas and some things that you might want to really hone in and focus on when you're doing that whole group instruction based on that comprehension skill. In the second column, you're going to find some different learning modalities that you can use, but you're also welcome to use any of your own resources that maybe you yourself use or your building or grade level uses as well. We tried to only list modalities that we all had common within the district. And the last column is our measure of learning. So you're going to see each week that we have a formative check. That formative check should tie back to our eligible content and report card standard. You are going to see a lot of materials hyperlinked in that last column. What we tried to do was we tried to make it as so easy for you so you could just grab and go. So what would happen is if I click here, that's going to take us to our shared drive. In our Journeys shared folders, there's going to be lessons 1 through 25. And that's going to link you directly to that shared folder. And once you get in there, you're going to see a ton of resources that we put in there specifically for you. And here you're going to find if there is a specific item linked, it should go directly to that specific story maps in that lesson folder. We also have links for read alouds, and we also have links for suggested seesaw activities, and we also have linked to our Being a Writer and our writing framework within the second grade shared folder. So try to make it as easy for you as possible so that you can truly just pick this up, you can grab and go and use the resources on here, or using your own professional judgment, using the resources that you have at your disposal and your creativity. So I hope that this will help you just a little bit, just to ease some of the worry that you might be having about what to look forward to by looking at what our team has done over the summer in trying to essentialize the learnings for you and to also give you some resources that will help you get started on your way. We will be discussing this again in our in-service days. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And we will also be available during in-service days to answer any questions if you have any. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your summer.